The Secret of Success, or How to Get On in the World, with some remarks upon true and false success and the art of making the best use of life, by W. H. Davenport Adams. 1879 edition, New York, publisher G. P. Putnam's Sons. Preface. It must be admitted at the outset that in the following pages I have no exclusive, peculiar, or wonderful secret to unfold. If there be a royal road to knowledge, I know of none to success, and I make no pretensions to have discovered a shorter or easier path than before existed. The reader who takes up this book in the hope of learning some new way of money making, some fresh exposition of the gospel of getting on, may find himself disappointed. I do indeed profess to set forth the secret of success, but it is a secret which has always been known to the successful. And then again, the success to which I seek to direct the reader's attention is no novel form of worldly prosperity, no extraordinary phase of fortune, but rather the acquisition of a sound mind in a sound body, the complete culture of the physical, moral, and intellectual faculties of the individual. It is true that I have not neglected the ordinary meaning which the world gives to success, nor do I wish to contend that competent means for the wholesome enjoyment of life is not a very reasonable and proper object for a man's energies. But I have endeavored to realize for the word a wider and higher significance, and to deal with it as representing the development of mind, soul, and body, the living so far as is possible to man a perfect life. This is the only success which secures happiness. The materialistic success, the success of the great speculator, the millionaire, is too frequently a deplorable failure. I confess, says Mr. Hillard, that increasing years bring with them an increasing respect for men who do not succeed in life, as these words are commonly used. Men who do not succeed in life as the Croesuses of society succeed are the men who work for the good of their fellows, the men who endow the world with the masterpieces of art and literature, the men who in the happiness of others find their own happiness. It is well that the reader, whatever pursuit or calling he may adopt, shall do his best in it. That is a matter of duty and honor which cannot be conscientiously neglected. It is told of a certain merchant prince of Boston that on one occasion he reprimanded for slovenly work a mechanic who had known him when in a very humble position. "I tell you what, Billy Gray," exclaimed the man, "I shan't stand such words from you. Why, I can remember when you were nothing but a drummer in a regiment." "And so I was," retorted the merchant. "So I was a drummer. But didn't I drum well, eh? Didn't I drum well?" Now, to my thinking, this drumming well is the genuine success. I hold that success in life is doing one's duty as well as it can be done, in whatever may be one's position, not for the sake of reward that may accompany it, and yet not despising or refusing that reward when it comes. In this kind of success, there is a pure and permanent pleasure wholly unknown to those for whom success is synonymous with mammon. The steadfast striving for this loftier success can never be without a happy issue. As Dr. Donne says, we are but farmers of ourselves, yet may, if we can stock ourselves and thrive, play much good treasure for the great rent day. If virtue be its own recompense, so is the love of knowledge. The habit of diligent application, the habit of temperate living, the habit of high thinking ever carries in itself a blessing. The cultivation of such habits is the secret of success, and it is the secret which lies within the reach of all of us, if we will but use our opportunities, our means aright. Count Hamilton said of Richelieu that this great man commanded little armies, and little armies did great things. Let not the reader be discouraged if his means be small. He may accomplish great things with them if he once lay firm hold upon the secret of success. It may be objected to the present volume that it follows in the track of worthy predecessors, such as The Evergreen Pursuit of Knowledge Under Difficulties by Mr. Craig and The Admirable Self-Help by Mr. Smiles. To some extent, no doubt, it traverses the same ground. On the other hand, it devotes a considerable space to illustrations from the departments of business and commerce, departments which have hitherto, at least for such purposes, been comparatively overlooked. And it pursues more than one course of inquiry which previous writers have scarcely glanced at. Another and obvious objection is that it says nothing absolutely new, that it repeats truths which have become commonplaces of moralists and the stock in trade of our social teachers. But truths of so much importance cannot be too frequently enforced. Their repetition may impress minds which have not been impressed before, and they may be accompanied with fresh examples or presented in newer forms so as to arrest the attention of the careless, or to suggest to the thoughtful new lines of reflection. I have done what I could in this direction, while availing myself of the best of the illustrations collected by my predecessors. I've gathered a very large number from additional sources and accumulated in these pages the results of the reading and observation of many years, so that to the question which concerns every young man so closely, how am I to get on in the world, I hope I have furnished a tolerably exhaustive and not altogether unsatisfactory reply. The keynote of that reply may be found in the words of a great writer. It is no man's business whether he has genius or not. Work he must, whatever he is, but quietly and steadily, and the natural and unforced results of such work will be always the things that God meant him to do, and will be his best. No agonies nor heart-rendings will make him to do any better. If he be a great man, there will be great things. If he be a small man, small things. But always, if thus peacefully done, good and right, always, if restlessly and ambitiously done, false, hollow, and despicable. And again, while in all things that we see or do, we are to desire perfection and strive for it, we are nevertheless not to set the meaner thing in this narrow accomplishment above the nobler thing in its mighty progress, not to esteem smooth minuteness above shattered majesty, not to prefer mean victory to honorable defeat, not to lower the level of our aim that we may the more surely enjoy the complacency of success. Though I have not thought it my duty or my province to encroach upon the work of the teachers of religion, I have not forgotten that the happiness of the other life depends upon the way in which success in this life is achieved or understood. I have not forgotten that the spiritual side of our complex humanity needs watchful and assiduous cultivation as much as its intellectual or moral. Sir George Mackenzie was of opinion that irreligious men could never make good statesmen. For none are such, he says, save they who from a principle of conviction or persuasion, say rather a religious sense of duty, manage public affairs to the advantage of those who employ them. I fancy the rule may be universally applied, and that men indifferent to religious considerations cannot make good artists, good poets, good members of society. Finally, I offer this book to my readers in the sincere desire that it may be of practical benefit to them, that it may help to encourage, to stimulate, to warn, that it may quicken them to a sense of life's value as a period of preparation, that it may open up to them the path to a true, a real, and a lasting success. They who still stand at the point of departure may surely profit by the counsel of the feeblest traveler who has performed a considerable portion of the journey and been taught by experience its trials, difficulties, and dangers. W. H. Davenport Adams.